Language used in technology can be pretty challenging for those students for whom English is not their first language, particularly when it comes to doing NZQA work. I've tried using Google Translate in the past. It's a useful tool for an indication sometimes, but quite often the translation is it's actually pretty useless. So just looking at ways to make it a bit more useful, this is what we typically get. This is a nice bit of NZQA ease. Students have demonstrated comprehensive understanding of the common components of basic digital infrastructures, and which glazes students over who don't have English as the first language. So this is a translation into Chinese simplified, and may or may not be wrong, it's kind of hard to tell. But a useful feature that's relatively recent to Google Translate is that, and that's an example of, I've tried actually taking that and pasting it back, and you can see students have demonstrated basic digital infrastructure together form a comprehensive understanding. That wouldn't actually be useful to me if a student gave me that information. If you click on any aspect of the translation, it will actually show you which term it's translating and which term that translates into. Click and edit to see alternative translations. If you click on it, you'll get to these, and if you hover over each one in turn, it will show you what it considers to be the translation of each one of these. So that's one way to refine the translation, but it can still be a bit rubbish. So for example, this one here, GM parts, was one of the alternatives it gave us, and I've had situations where students have said, well, that's not really the case. So the solution that I've found with this is I wanted to put the technology terms in a way that these students would find easier. It was actually used these students themselves. In every class there's some students who have got very good skills in both languages. Typically you'll have some top students who will really have some insight into what's going on, and I used them. I said I would click on the translation and say what's the best term to use here to get an adequate translation, and that typically worked pretty well.